As a creator, you may dream about that trip of a lifetime. An experience that will open new doors, dramatically lift your creative ceiling, connect you with meaningful artists, challenge you not only physically, but mentally. And most of all, bring you a huge sense of fulfillment. This is the story of that trip.
I've been working all day, all night for you. You've been praying all night, all day too. But God might be on vacation, and the promised land ain't never promised. My baby telling me to be patient, but the devil always working overnight, my darling.
It's been nearly a decade since I've been back in Chennai, and coming back here, a lot has changed, but one thing that hasn't was this illusionary sense of coming home. While I'm not from here, sharing the same language and key cultural elements creates this genuine warmth for me that I'm amongst my people. I made sure to internalize that feeling as quick as possible, because if we expected to survive the week ahead of us, well, we'd need as much intrinsic motivation as possible. Little hip thrust, throw a little hip thrust. Come on, he's doing it, Throw a little hip thrust in there. There you go. Oh, whoa. Oh.
Black coffee every day, intermittent fast.
You're fucking lying, stop lying to the world.
You alright, dog? You look like you gotta take a shit. What's going on?
I got pins and needles in my feet. You know.
And you like watermelon for breakfast.
The best part of waking up is Chennai in your cup.
What the fuck? Are you super, you dumb? Got the boys!
Our crew had just wrapped up 2 weeks touring India, wrapping up a bunch of shoots and projects, but they would all pale in comparison for this last week in Chennai. We were already exhausted from the droning process of travel, loading, unloading gear, and getting our nuts tapped by overzealous immigration officers. But all of that were just the early levels leading us to the final boss. And it was shaping up to be a motherfucker. Over the next 7 days, our crew would look to perform our first show in the city, create a targeted marketing campaign, shoot a music video, conduct radio interviews, shoot another music video, conduct a large photo shoot, stay out of the hospital. We dropped the ball here. Shoot one more music video, travel to a remote village for one more photo shoot, and then perform our most important show to date. Creatively speaking, it'd be the most demanding week of my life, and one I can proudly say I was built to execute.
Fucking pepperoni nipples ass bitch! Ah!
You're gonna give up? You're gonna give up on him like that? At the end of the tour, you're gonna see my hand, give me a red mark. You're gonna get that tatted. India 2020.
Stop abusing me. Stop.
I sent a little.
No, fuck that.
The red mark, you had it. India 2020.
No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do
Go!
it in any
Don't
way.
be a bitch! Don't be a bitch! Don't be a bitch! Man up! Man up!
No. Bro, I don't like
Giving you a chance.
I don't like hurting you.
Giving you a chance.
Nah.
One chance.
This is who I am.
One chance.
What are you looking at? Huh? Conquer yourself. If you don't do it today, you'll do it tomorrow.
Oh. Dog. Dog. Stop playing right now.
Where is it going? He's leaving the room.
Dog.
He's leaving the room.
Dude.
Put it in the folder, please.
We gotta do something stupid epic to this.
I often get the question, how do you do it? And each time I get asked that question, I wonder to myself, what the fuck is the person in front of me actually asking? I think other professionals will empathize with this feeling, but someone coming up to us and asking us this, are we wondering, well, are they literally asking, how do I do this? Or are they looking for something more philosophical that deserves a more existential response that the person in front of me, after hearing my answer, will have this aha experience? With our schedule in Chennai, the literal answer is this delicate balance between planning, purpose, and strategy. Have a defined purpose that acts like a compass for everything you're about to do. Plan out actionable items that feed into that purpose, and leverage your experience to create an effective strategy that'll ensure successful execution. But even with purpose, planning, and strategy, I'm not immune to stressors or external pressures. We were wearing ourselves down to the bone, and it was about to get worse.
You think they added sugar?
I know, they must have, right?
Yo, taste this and tell me if they added sugar.
Because you do get the aftertaste of,
Jade and hey, that's a small price to pay for being expensive. Bars is gold bars now, the price triples, the heart still frozen, coastal icicles.
This was our Diabolus Ex Machina. This sweet, foamy, pink watermelon juice would prove to be the instrument of evil that would make our journey ahead in the days to come significantly more difficult. I thought if I threw enough money at a hospital that we could get an IV drip so we can recuperate and get back into our work. However, I made the crucial error of finding the most reputable hospital in the city. Lesson learned. With the difficulty level increase, we'd look to cross off all these projects on our list with rotating members of our team being put out of commission. But what this highlighted was how capable each crew member was. That as one person went down, another one would come back to pick up the weight. This underscores an important lesson that every creator needs to accept if they want to be successful on a meaningful scale. Creativity is a team sport. If you want to produce material that will create long-lasting impacts and ensure a fruitful livelihood for yourself, you have to cultivate a team of assassins that are purpose-driven. That's how you navigate the toughest of seas, or bowels for that matter. There were times on this trip where I just fucking hated cameras. Not because they weren't doing any specific feature, but because they were doing too much. There was too much in the way between me and the moment. At a very basic level, I'm chasing a feeling in my imagery that when someone sees it, they have an instinctive reaction, almost like smelling your mother's cooking after a long time. And through this chase, you run into layers of friction. I'm looking to take this firing of neurons in my head, turn it into physical actions to manipulate technology to capture something in a tangible form that other people may look at and view and then have a firing of neurons in their head that's just as potent. And when you frame it like that, you start to see how difficult of a task that is to do effectively. And I think that's why I've been retreating to film photography more and more, that it not only brings me closer to the final image that I'm looking for, but that feeling. Now, I don't say this to suddenly convince all the photographers watching to throw out your digital cameras and start shooting film. No, that's just poisonous drivel that hipsters with shitty pictures like to do. I think what I really mean is that there are times where the tool just doesn't get out of the way enough, that there are too many layers of friction between you and what you're trying to produce. And this may creep up at the most inopportune times, like in the middle of a music video or photo shoot. And in these times, I just allow myself to hate the fucking tool. I mean, seriously, relax a little, stretch it out, change the playlist, and just remember that not everything has to be a home run. Sometimes you have to hit a pop fly to move the runner on base. You have to be open to receive the L's just as much as you're there to accept the dubs. Instead of only looking to ride the highs, look to find a balance in the ebb and flow of things to stabilize this forward momentum. Just keep going. And in this process of self-talk and reorientation, I'm able to remove the weight behind these layers of friction that might cause frustration. At a large scale, it'll help refine the production cycle as a whole, but at a small scale, it just helps me get back on track and just get through the day. And sometimes that's all we need.
Do the last one again. No, just the last one. Just the last one.
Wait, sorry. Last one would have been.
I got the first one is this one. No pause.
Is this place haunted?
Look at that door right there. Look at that door. Look. Right when he said that. Right when you fucking said it opened. If that isn't haunted, I don't know what is. You hear that from a distance? I don't know what the fuck that is. Sounds like someone's walking with a fucking ankle bracelet. Do you have ankle bracelet? I don't have ankle bracelet. Fuck, saying I'm gonna make a haunted beat now for this?
Alright, we're gonna do the vlog. I want you to introduce yourself. Your name?
Karan.
Isaac Naveen.
Jude. My name is Hari Karan.
Nawal Arasan.
Alright, we got Ravi Varma here. You are the choreographer, the dance guru.
Yep.
I gotta ask you, who's your favorite musician? Who's your favorite artist?
My favorite artist and the musician is A.R. Rahman.
A.R. Rahman?
Anytime, yeah.
Anytime. So if you had to pick one song to dance to, what's that song?
It's very difficult to pick one song, but I would say any 90s songs I would love to dance to of A.R. Rahman's 90s music.
Anything from the 90s.
And the one song which comes to my mind now is that song.
Okay, okay, all right.
Diamonds the booth.
So right now we're at the Apollo Specialty Hospital right now. Each of us has been hit with some kind of bug. Trouble keeping food down. Energy is extremely low. Being out in the sun a lot. Sean's been hit the worst. He's actually inside the emergency room right now. It's still worth it, is what he said. We have a show tomorrow. We have a music video to shoot today. So we're hoping to get him, back to fighting shape, back to performance mode, so we can make that happen. Mosquitoes won't let me live here. How do you know when an adventure is about to begin? On the penultimate day of our time in Chennai, we were fatigued, dehydrated, and facing major roadblocks in the completion of a few key projects. We had just left the hospital only to find out we couldn't secure some key permits to film remaining pickups. What do you do in that moment? You're halfway around the world, you don't have your network to lean on, and you have 12 hours left to capture everything you need that's remaining on your list. What do you do? Is that Kool-Aid?
This is that Chennai Kool-Aid, dog. I'm gonna drink all of the Kool-Aid.
Whatever it takes, right?
Can't make a song called Die Iconic, expect shit to be easy.
Ain't that the fucking truth? Let me say this quite simply, that while I have a specialized honors degree in kinesiology and health science, I am by no means providing medical advice. With that said, we kept going. We decided to strap up and move forward, that so long as there was a breath in our body and space on a memory card, we were gonna keep moving forward. Once we accepted that this was our reality, the thrill of the shoot returned. Instead of thinking about what was holding us back, we were focused on location, 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 where we could pull over and shoot. This new outlook led us to temples, monuments, salt flats, and while I was in a lucid state, I kid you not, a golden temple. Now, I'll save that for another story, but what I'm trying to get at is that with our shift in perspective, it led us to everything we were looking for and more. We couldn't have planned it any better, and while Lady Luck played her part in making sure we were able to get what we need, I'd like to think that our mindset ultimately came through. But there was still one thing left on our list. We're chasing the sun at this point, and we're just trying to capture, again, we're trying to capture probably the most iconic image of this tour, something that should resonate with just about any human being if you have a soul, and really speak to who we are, what we're doing, and what we're about. So let's see if we can make that happen. On our shot list was this idea of a group portrait where we'd have this squad of Tamil kids all just ganged up and looking raw into the camera. A crew of individuals that would crush through your fragile ego and demand your attention. It's easy to dream up of a shot like this, but how could we make it a reality? Fortunately enough, one of our cameramen knew exactly where we could find such a setting, but it wouldn't be easy. We'd have to drive 2 hours north of the main city, get into a tuk-tuk, and drive another hour on makeshift roads into a remote village where our subjects would be. Well, we did all this up to this point. What's another adventure, right? There was a strange collision of emotions and energy during this photography exchange. The children were ecstatic to see us, that foreigners would make the time to see them, that they were worthy of our time. While in our eyes, we were witnessing some of the most beautiful, joyful individuals that ultimately, and quite honestly, deal with so much more adversity that would probably break down the average Westerner. We were being humbled. We chased the sun to make it there before nightfall and were able to capture some remarkable images. Further, we were able to spend some real time with these kids and treat them and vow to them that we would be back, that this is not where our story ends. With our last creative mission wrapped up, we got back in our tuk-tuk and headed back into the city with some newfound time to review our images, and then something strange happened. I cried. If there's anything that South Asians will tell you is that we are very good at bottling up our emotions, and my wife will tell you that I am no different. But after all this time, across all these places, against all odds, to see this image, I couldn't hold back my emotions any further. I'm from a specific group of people that were targeted, marginalized, and ultimately on the receiving end of a brutal genocide. This stop in Chennai started like a homecoming, but was a stark reminder that for people such as myself, our real home was robbed from us, that our fight for equality was met with violence. And so being able to exercise and express ourselves through music, art, poetry, and well, photography, it keeps our culture alive. That despite all odds, we can ensure the survival of our people through creative expression. That so long as there are people willing to push themselves to create, we have a fighting chance to live on through our stories. So how do I do it? Well, there's no other choice. It's about history. History is at stake here, and when that's your reality, you have no choice but to do it. And that's how I do all of this. I've realized that creativity is why, that against all odds, a culture on the brink of extinction can not only survive, but thrive in a manner that chases immortality. It inspires me every day that so many people that share a similar background, be it Sri Lanka, Nigeria, Armenia, and well, even America, can make their mark in history through their creativity. This is why I'm seldom happy with my images, that I'm always demanding more from myself, that I'm haunted by the pursuit of the next great image. There is so much at stake here that any excess complacency, even if it is to just rejoice in the fruits of my labor, may prove to be costly over the long term. And not everyone is built like this, and not everyone should be. But for me, this is more than photography. And if you don't get it, well, I don't fucking care. I don't seek fame, I don't seek fortune, I don't seek praise, and I definitely don't seek approval. All I'm looking for is my next great work. And I firmly believe that in that pursuit, I can create this healthy motivation that will inspire others. That my authenticity and tenacity can provide this healthy external motivation for a large group of creative savages. Why not chase your wildest goals? Why not pursue your lifelong ambition? Why not seek your best work? If you're going to stress, toil, sweat, and bleed over something, why not do it for your history? Because I'm telling you, when you make this exhausting, demanding, stressful, painful, nerve-wracking creative process your lifestyle, that's the dream. That's the dream.
God might be on vacation, and the promised land ain't never promised. My baby telling me to be patient, but the devil always working overnight, my darling. I don't belong in no place. I cannot evolve, leave all of my demons behind these doors. Wait, my calling for me, calling for now. So even in the rain, we be shining on. I've been gone, running up all the numbers, cutting all the brakes with my foot up on the floor. I've been ghost, busy filling on my soul. I've been working all day, all night for you.